I often get this question, how can I safeguard my hair from hair loss? There are definitely ways that we can do that, and that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. This is Dr. Dwella Moten Nelson, your healthy scalp specialist. So we're going to talk about 6 ways or 6 things that you should consider when you're trying to find ways to help your hair to stay as healthy as possible and also to prevent hair loss. I would say one of the very first things you should consider is hydration. Not just hydration on the hair, but also if you're drinking enough water. It's really easy to figure out how much water you should be taking in every single month, and we'll link that for you here. Just click below and you can see a calculation that'll help you to be able to determine how much water you should be drinking every day. But drinking enough water basically translates to your entire body being hydrated. Not just your skin and your body and your cells, but also your hair. If your body is dehydrated, your hair will also be dehydrated. When your hair is dehydrated, it starts to feel a little bit more dry and brittle. It starts to break. When you're combing it, you'll see a lot more hair in the comb. You'll look in the sink and see little pieces of hair in the sink. That's definitely a telltale sign of your hair being dehydrated. Is when you're combing your hair, brushing it, and there are pieces of hair in the sink, not the entire hair that is finished that hair cycle. You can pick up a long hair and look at the end, there's a little hair bulb at the bottom. That means that the hair has finished its growth cycle and it is now gone through that whole phase of the growth cycle and it's now just come out. It's very natural to have those pieces come out, the whole piece of hair. But when you're starting to see little pieces of hair that are broken off in the sink or on the floor in your bathroom, that's a telltale sign that you are probably dehydrated and not drinking enough water. So I would say that's your number 1. Number 2 is your diet. You want to make sure that you're eating lots of fresh fruits and vegetables. I love to buy organic just simply because we want to try to be as healthy as possible. We are very thoughtful about what we put in our mouth. And so in what we eat, we want to make sure that we are both hydrated and eating a very healthy diet. So fresh fruits and vegetables should be at the top of that list. And of course, you want to have protein, good healthy protein that's low in fat, but just the fresh fruits and vegetables, super important. If you're not a person who really likes fresh fruits and vegetables, you can always juice. Or you can make a smoothie if you would prefer to do that. But just getting those fresh fruits and vegetables in, if you can throw in a handful of leafy greens like spinach or kale, you can put that right into a smoothie or you can juice it and drink that. So good for your body, so good for your skin, so good for your health, and good for your hair. So those are the first 2 things, making sure that you're hydrated, making sure that you eat a healthy diet that has lots of fresh fruits and vegetables. The third thing that we'll talk about is supplements. As we get older and we eat less or eat differently than we did when we were younger, our body just does not have the surplus of energy or surplus of nutrients that we normally have because the foods that we're eating are also quite different and the amount is quite different. So as you get a little bit older, I would always recommend doing a skin, nail, and hair vitamin. These can be found in a local grocery store. They can be found at CVS, Walgreens, Walmart. You just want to look online and try to, look at the reviews, see what people have had really good success with. And there's not one in particular that I stand by that I feel like is the absolute best for a hair, skin, and nail vitamin. So normally in those hair, skin, and nail vitamins, you'll have like vitamins like vitamin C and vitamin E and vitamin A. You'll normally also have biotin in those, and biotin is really super important to keeping your hair very healthy and keeping your hair growing. You don't want to overdose on biotin. So I'm not one of those people that will say, oh, go out and get a 10,000 milligram, container of vitamin supplement for biotin. Biotin is definitely known to cause acne on the skin. People can get indigestion. So I've heard a lot of side effects from people that are taking high doses of biotin. Essentially, your body is only going to use what your body needs. So if you're taking a vitamin that's really, really high in potency, it's very possible that you're doing, not as much good as you think. So your body and your kidneys are just going to flush the excess of that vitamin out, which can sometimes be hard on the kidneys. So make sure that you're getting a vitamin that has what you need in a supplement, but not too much of a good thing. Too much of a good thing can also be bad. So just keep that in mind as well. So that was number 3. Our number 4 would be talking about your scalp health. So we want our scalp to be as healthy as possible. Our motto here at Dr. Topic Oils is that a healthy scalp will grow hair. So if your scalp is healthy, inevitably your hair is going to grow. And so we always want to make sure that we're paying attention to our scalp, that we're parting our scalp either with a comb or with our fingers, just to look down at the scalp, making sure that it's not dry and flaky, making sure there's no red spots, making sure there's no irritation or inflammation on the scalp. You can just do that quite easily just looking at your own scalp. And so that part is really important, making sure that you're checking in on your scalp, making sure that your scalp is as healthy as possible. And the things that kind of help your scalp to stay healthy are the things that I mentioned before. Your diet, your hydration, and your supplements are the main things that help your scalp. Fifth thing that we'll mention is taking care of your hair. So we talked a little bit about the hydration of the body, but we also want to make sure that our hair has pliability. And what you can do to add pliability to your hair is to make sure that you're doing a great conditioner on the hair. So I know that it's really easy sometimes to get your shampoo and conditioner in one bottle and just, you wash it and you're done with it. But especially for people that have naturally curly or wavy hair, the hair tends to be a lot drier than people that have more of a straighter type of pattern to their hair. So I always recommend, doing a deep conditioner once a month. You can feel the strands of the hair. If they're feeling very dry and brittle to you, it might be time to do a conditioner. And I want to differentiate because a deep conditioner is not the same as a protein treatment. So people will say, oh, my hair feels brittle, I need to put protein. And a lot of times your hair, it depends on your hair type and the condition of your hair. But a lot of times when you add too much protein, your hair becomes more brittle. The hair gets even more dehydrated. So a deep conditioner or a mask on the hair is really, really great to keep your hair nice and pliable. If your hair is curly or naturally curly or coily, you want to make sure that you're spraying a hydrating leave-in conditioner onto your hair at least once or twice a week. Your hair should never get to the point where it's feeling dry to the touch and it's feeling like it's breaking. So whenever you feel your hair, it should feel very soft and pliable. And so making sure that you have conditioners that are glycerin rich. And so for our curly girls, there is a conditioner that we carry through Dr. Topic Oils. It's called Mermaid Milk. And we'll link that for you as well. Mermaid Milk is very glycerin heavy. It has honey in it. It has shea butter in it. All those yummy things that your hair needs to help it to stay as hydrated as possible and help it with pliability as well. It gives a lot of really great slip. So if you're combing your hair through or you're picking it, it gives slip, which means that as you're combing it, the comb will slide through the hair as opposed to being pulled or your hair or your curls being pulled or tugged if there's not enough slip in that product. And then the last thing we'll mention is making sure that when you're styling your hair that you don't pull it into a very tight style every single day. Now I know we like to do slick ponytails. I know that we like to do updos and we like braids and we like different types of styles, but you want to make sure that you give your hair a rest. So if you're always pulling your hair back into a ponytail, you'll see over time that your edges or your hairline will start to recede. And it's just because the tension on the hair causes the hair to start to pull out. You may not notice it at the beginning when you start styling in that way, but over time you'll start to see that, oh, my edges are a little bit thinner than they usually are when you wear your hair down. So I think it's really important that we don't style in those really tight styles, the ponytails and updos all the time. At least give your hair a break from those so that you don't lose hair because of very, very tight styling. So I hope that those 6 things that we shared with you today to help you to be able to maintain your hair, to keep you from losing hair and experiencing hair loss, I hope those 6 tips were really helpful to you. And again, thank you so much for listening. And this is Dr. Dwella Moten Nelson, your healthy scalp specialist. Thanks.